how to market your Shopify store. So in this video, I'll be guiding you step by step and providing you some ideas on how you could go about marketing your store to generate traffic to your store, which means you'll be able to generate sales. I'll also be sharing some tools that you'll be able to use inside your Shopify store to help with this as well. So let's start. All right, so one of the first things you're going to want to do, of course, is optimize your store before marketing. So what does this look like? So before you want to spend money on traffic, right, you want to make sure your store has maybe a professional logo, right, or if not logo, at least something that looks really nice, right, a mobile friendly design, which should be really easy because Shopify's, if you're using a Shopify theme, right, they usually already optimize for mobile as well. You want to make sure your loading pages are loading quickly because Google likes when your pages load quickly, and also your customers will like you as well because you have to think about it, like if you were the customer, right? Would you stay if a page was loading for a very long time? You probably wouldn't. You'll either give up or you'll just go to the next site, right? Next, you want to just make sure your product descriptions are all set up and clean, right? You want to make sure you have trust badges set up if you have anything they need to show that you are legit. You want to add reviews to it and you want to have clear CTAs. And for, like, let's say for the fast loading pages, right, you might want to check out this app called Tiny Image, right? So you could go to you could download the app from the Shopify App Store. I'll have the link for this in the description below so you guys can go check it out, right? So with Tiny SEO, right, you'll be able to optimize your speed, your speed, right? So improve speed, and here you'll be able to select, maybe it's like your images will need some faster load times, so they'll need to be updated. Your images might need to be optimized, right? And so you'll want to check this app out. Again, I'll have the link for this in the description below. Next, you want to post on social media consistently. I know you probably heard this many times, right? But of course, you want to just have this, drilled down, right? So you want to create content around your product, right? So some of ideas that you might want to think about, right, is product demos, right? So making short videos of the product, right, before and after, right, showing the benefits of it. So like if you're selling like a cream, right, maybe that helps you with your face, right? You want to show how it looked before you start using the cream, and then like maybe a few days after using the cream, right? Customer testimonials are very important, very helpful. This will provide legitimacy to your product, to your store, and it also helps new customers feel comfortable in buying your product when they see customer testimonials. You want to show behind the scenes, right? Maybe it's like packaging the products, right, that you're shipping out. It could be maybe if you're selling in a store, right, showing that as well, right? You want to show packaging orders, again, behind the scenes packaging orders, right? You want to show tutorials, right? Maybe if you're doing again the cream for your face, right, showing how to apply it properly or when to apply it, right, etc. Trending videos, right? So this is pretty simple, right? You could go on like TikTok, show what's very popular, and try to take some ideas and do that for your own product. So platforms you want to go on: TikTok, with TikTok Shop, you'll want to set this up really early on. You want to go on Instagram Reels as well, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube Shorts. Of course, you don't need to do all this at once. You want to maybe focus on one or two at the start, and then once you grow, right, if you have the time, you might want to open the other ones, or maybe hire somebody to help you with creating content for these platforms. So number 3 is you want to go ahead and collect emails from day one, right? So email is one of the highest ROI marketing channels, right? So you want to build an email list with discount pop-ups, exit intent pop-ups, right? Welcome offers, giveaways, right? So all this is very important, right? And you want to send emails like, you want to send welcome emails, you want to send abandoned cart emails, you want to send product launches, sales, weekly newsletters, right? All this is very important when you're first starting out because you want to collect those emails, because that's like almost free marketing for you, because emails don't cost almost anything to send, right? And so when you're sending these emails, you're sending your marketing to these emails, right, to these customers that reached out to you. Those are sales that you might want to go. And for this app, for the app that I recommend to do this, is called OmniSend, right? So if you go to, let me just open up quickly the Shopify App Store here, right? OmniSend here. Oops, I guess I gotta create an account, which I already have an account, but I just haven't logged in yet. So you'll want to use OmniSend, right, for this, and it's a fantastic platform because you'll be able to do they already have options to create discount pop-ups, right, giveaways. They also have automations for like welcome emails, abandoned cart emails, right, and much more. You could create campaigns where you're sending weekly newsletters, right, etc. And then you want to, of course, set up recover abandoned carts, right? So most visitors, of course, won't purchase the very first time, and this is normal, right? You cannot expect customers to purchase the first time when they visit your store, right? Sometimes they just need a little bit push. I know for myself, that's me. Sometimes I'll visit the store like 5 times in a week just to like I kind of want to buy, but I'm doing research, right? But sometimes I do add the product to cart, and then I have Shopify stores send me abandoned cart emails, right? So like, hey, you forgot to check out. Here's to check out here before it's gone. Or like, if I still haven't checked out like in 24 hours, send me a coupon, right? And then to check out, etc. Right? So you want to do this, right? And again, you can do this with OmniSend. I'll have the link for this in the description below, so you guys could go and just download the app and install it to your Shopify store. Next, you want to run Facebook and Instagram ads if, of course, you have the budget to do so, right? If you do, you might want to start small just to play around and test what works, right? So you want to test videos, images, UGC, right? Carousel ads, right? Of course, these are some metrics that you can track when you're first setting out to start with running Facebook ads and Instagram ads. Number 6 is run Google Shopping ads, right? Maybe you don't really need to do this at start, right? Maybe you just want to focus on Facebook and Instagram. That might be the first two. But if you have the capital to do so, then you might want to start running Google Shopping ads as well. Number 7, is improve your SEO. Again, right? Organic traffic compounds over time, right? So with ads, right? If you're running ads, it's gonna cost you money, right? And the more you grow, right, it's you're gonna probably have to spend a lot more, right? And so that's why you're starting to see a lot of businesses, right, start to focus on SEO because it's free and it improves over time, right? So some of the things that you could do to focus on when you're first starting out with your SEO in Shopify store, right, is keywords, right? You want to focus on good keywords on your title of your products, right? You want to create blog articles. So this could be like how to what to look for when you're buying your first face cream, right? Or what to look for in face creams, or what should you watch out when you're buying your next face cream. And then of course in Shopify you can do this very easily, right? You can go to content, blog post, and create a blog post and include your product in the blog post, right? So that your product's is like the answer to the question, right? And so yeah, you just want to use blog articles a lot. It will help a lot when you're over time, right? You want to make sure your product SEO is good, right? Again, Shopify does this pretty much well. When you're first starting out, when you have your product here, your search engine listing set up here, you can set up your page title, meta description, right? And make sure your URL handle looks pretty clean, right? Again, Shopify usually handles this, but you might want to update the meta description because it does use the description here, right, included here. Next is you want to do image optimization. So that's where like app like Tiny Image will help you out with that, because with SEO there's a lot to go through and you might miss things, right? So as you can see here, in my test account, this one is showing me maybe I want to add a custom domain to it, right, instead of using the My Shopify address, right? Because it does not rank well on search engines, right? And then it will provide my health score right here, right, and show me products are not optimized, collections are not optimized, 3 pages are not optimized, right? I could go ahead and click on it, right? It's gonna show me not optimized, not optimized, not optimized, right? And then I could go ahead and edit, and it's gonna literally give me a checklist of what I need to do to make sure it's optimized, right? So it gave me a 59 score, which is not too bad, right? But it could be a lot better, right? And so that's where you'll want to download this app right from the Shopify App Store. I'll have the link for this in the description below, so you guys go check it out, and it will just help you improve it, right? And just to make sure your SEO for your Shopify store compounds over time. Number 8, you want to work with influencers, right? So find creators that already have your audience, right? So what you can offer them is free products. A lot of influencers, when they're first starting out, they like free products, right? You want maybe do affiliate commission, right? So if they drive traffic and sales, they'll get a piece of the cut, right? Offer them discount codes, right? And you don't want to chase huge creators because that's going to cost you a lot of money, and this will not work because they're going to just want a fee up front, right? So you want to do micro influencers, right? So 1,000 to maybe 50,000, right? And micro influencers are pretty big, right? They could drive traffic because they have that trust already from a smaller community. Number 9 is, of course, collect product reviews, right? So you want to reviews increase trust and improve conversion rates. Ask customers after delivery, right? So for this, you want to use an app called Looks. So with Looks reviews, again, I'll have the link for this in the description below, so you guys could just go download it from the description below to start collecting reviews, right? And what I like about this is that with Looks, you can actually send emails to them after, like, let's say 14 days of fulfillment, right? You could be like, hey, what did you think about the product? Did you like it? If you did, leave a review, right? Or like, you can send them like, if you leave a review, right, here's $10 off for the next product, right, etc. So that's where Looks reviews. Pretty easy to manage and add reviews to your online store, right? So if I show you quickly, I go to edit theme, and let's say I want to add reviews to the products itself, right? So to my watch page, right, I can scroll down and literally, so this was easy already, it was already added, but you could just go to sections here, right, apps, and literally it will add you can add the review widgets like this one right here, right? And you can have custom reviews of your customers' products showing your product in action, right? And so again, it's a great way to just generate those sales for your product itself because that generates trust. And again, I'll have the link for Looks in the description below, so you guys could just go download it from there. Again, we already talked about this. Create blog content. We talked about this for SEO. And you want to track your results, right? So you want to see what's working, right? If ads are working, right, then maybe you want to double down on ads. If you're starting to see that SEO is working, maybe you do SEO. Or if you're doing email marketing, right, you're seeing, oh man, a lot of people are actually buying from when I send emails to them, send more emails, right? So again, you just want to track your results and see what's working and double down on that. Now, if you have any questions about this, you can always comment down below. And again, I'll have happy to help. And any app that I discussed will be in the description below, so you guys could just go download the app and start using it for your Shopify store. And that's it for now, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.